A shared love for fashion binds Lindiwe Zulu and her fashion designer daughter Pindile. Pindile is credited with creating many of her mother's red carpet looks and often accompanies the minister to government events. Eldest daughter Nogutula seems to have inherited her mother's political genes and now plays an active role in the ANC herself. Generally, very little is said about the effects of the struggle for a democratic South Africa on families. The personal toll and sacrifices made by freedom fighters are sometimes seen as mere collateral damage. Zulu's two daughters were left in the care of their great-grandmother when their mother went into exile. When they were reunited after 14 years apart, it took some time to build and rebuild a strong connection. Nokutula, I want to bring you into this conversation now. Do you remember when your mother came home and you met her for the first time after 14 years? Tell us about that.
When we heard she's back, we're going to meet her, I had that thing of, oh, I'm going to meet my mom. But when I met her now, like face to face, my head started going back, you know, remembering what I went through when she was not there. But I told myself I will heal as time goes on.
And how is your healing?
Getting there, slowly but surely.
I think it must be difficult being the eldest one because you get to be the one at the forefront of the experiences.
Yeah.
And many people don't tell you what the children of the liberation actually had to endure whilst the parents were fighting for freedom.
Exactly.
Yeah. And what are your feelings towards this liberation movement? And I understand in the beginning you were saying that it's the bigger cause, but it doesn't change the fact that you're a girl who did not have a mom for 14 years.
I have this belief that everything happens for a reason. I think that's the most thing that has made me to be strong and, you know, accept things. Because, you know, when you ask yourself, why this, why that, you'll still be stuck instead of moving forward.
Mm-hmm. And for you, Pindi, was the connection instant? Or did you have a moment of adjustment and going into a mode of, okay, it's not just grandma or Koko, I think in your instance, yes, right? The Koko, she was the Koko, right? Yeah. But having to go through that process of oh goodness, I've got a mom now.
For me, it was exciting. I still remember what she was wearing. A two-piece linen suit in shorts, like shorts, a two-piece orange with a black camisole with black high heels and a briefcase, and her hair nicely styled. I was like, whoa, what a heap of a woman this is. I was luckier. I've had longer years with her, understanding her. The simplest person ever, the most nicest. I'm not saying it because she's here, but she's the nicest person I've ever met. She likes things done properly. You do that and you're good to go.
You're saying that she likes things done properly.
Accordingly.
Is that where the love now for being a perfectionist in your designs come in? Because they've been spoken about quite extensively in terms of your contribution.
I'm not a perfectionist per se. I think I'm far from being a perfectionist. I'm an artist, a freelancer. I like doing things when I feel like doing things. I'm liberated in that sense. I don't like formulas, and I don't like to be caged down to think in a particular way or draw in this case. I think that's where her and I have a bit of I can't find a word. Yes. Oh, you see now. Yeah, I'm looking for a word.
And she's already got it.
She's already got it.
She snapped it.
I like impressing. I like it when everyone is happy.
And I have a problem with that.
She has a problem with that because
you can't make everybody happy.
It's impossible.
And I think that's where Nokutula comes in. She's a no-nonsense person. She's just, we do it this way or we don't. And if you don't want to do it that way, take a hike. And she will be like nesting everything, wanting to make everybody happy. And then in the process of trying to make everybody happy, they end up abusing you. You make the dress, you make everything, you run around, they don't pay you. And Pindile thinks, no, they're going to come tomorrow. And this one is saying, hey, if they were at Edgar's or True's, they would have paid immediately. So that's where we clash, because Pindile is a peacemaker. And sometimes I feel like it comes at a price. Are you prepared to take the price? Because if you take that price and it doesn't help you to the next level of your life, then I have a problem with that. Because I keep saying, I am where I am, and I keep telling them, don't make the mistake of listening to people outside who think I'm where I am because somebody did me a favor. Nobody did me a favor. My grandparents took me through school. I studied, I completed. I did everything that my organization needed me to do in the way they needed me to do. I stayed in the line all the time. I stayed on the lane, if I may say that. But I presented myself the way my grandmother always wanted me to do, to work very hard in order for people to recognize me for who I am. And so I keep telling them, you must understand I've worked hard to be where I am. Nobody did me a favor because I'm in the ANC. You know, sometimes people take it for granted. You are in the ANC, you are in the leadership because somebody made a decision. No, they made the decision to elect you into that because of your work. Hence the same. Now Nokuthula is actually now in the ANC full-time. Now her house is called Luthuli House because she took a decision way later. And she took a decision from a small thing. She has a salon, she runs a salon. Some other people across are doing the braiding on the side, and yet she registered. And she calls me and she says, but what's the story? I registered, I paid, and these ones are across the line. So I said, don't talk to me. Fight for it yourself there. That's how she started. She then realized that, oh, I need to take responsibility in my own environment, and taking responsibility through the ANC, I can be able to do independent of me completely.
Do you think that the future of this country will be able to understand, number one, the sacrifices that were made, but number two, understand the fact that there's still a lot to be done? So in other words, I'm asking you about the South Africa that you imagine, and how do you imagine this generation taking forward the future which you imagined as your grandmother imagined a free South Africa which you're now living in?
If my grandmother had a dream for her own children and she made it possible, if she had a dream for us as her grandchildren and she made it possible, who am I today to sit here and think that my dream of a future South Africa won't happen? Because I'm living my grandmother's dream. My grandchildren are going to live my dream. And I'm just putting it to my family, but I have confidence and trust in young people that one way or the other, when they keep on hearing the stories also, when they keep on reflecting, when they grow to a situation of wanting to ask questions and needing answers, I'm telling you, Mina, I have got confidence in this country. I've got confidence in the young people. I hear people talking, hey, young people are apolitical, whatever. I don't believe in that. I think that all young people grow in different pockets of different lifestyle and different things. But I am confident that black people will always appreciate the history where they come from. They will always rise to the occasion, because it's easy for me to be sitting here and talking today about 1976 and so forth. 76 youth, they rose to the occasion, but there'd been a history before then. They rose to the occasion. I think even South Africans of today will always keep on rising to the occasion. And rising to the occasion is about appreciating the future, working towards that future. And my call really would be, I would like to see a future where black, white, this and that is not at the center. I'd like to see a future where we are referring to apartheid as in history, but now we must refer to ourselves to what we want to do. People must refer to us and what we said we were going to do, but refer to apartheid as part of our history. So if we build the future, it's about saying, what did the African National Congress say it was going to do since 94? It's 25 years down the line. What has the ANC done very well? Where are the changes that have happened in the lives of people in education, in health, and what have you? How can we build on that and create a better South Africa? I never thought it was ever going to be easy. And if anyone thinks even the future is going to be easy, I don't think it's going to be easy, because we must not see ourselves in isolation of the world we live in. We must not isolate ourselves from the African continent and its challenges. We must not isolate ourselves to the world and the dynamics that are happening in the world. But if we can just stick and stay on the lane of saying we want to build a better South Africa, where if Nelson Mandela was to wake up, let me say 50 years down the line or 60 years down the line, he would look and say, I sacrificed for right reason. If Mamu Winnie Madikizela Mandela, my Mamu Winnie Madikizela Mandela, the person that I relied on for a whole lot of strength, even today, I still think of her and I say, she had a dream. I'm living my grandmother's dream, but I'm also living Mam Winnie's dream. I'm living Mandela's dream. I'm living Adelaide Tambo's dream. And I think that, as Pindile rightfully says, they are there to take the baton. There's a baton that needs to be passed. But we must not undermine and think that the baton is going to be passed and then everything is going to be honky-dory. It's not possible. There will be challenges along the way. And I have Kawe, I have Buhle, I have Junior, I have Keto, I have Hosi, I've got the others who are in Bloemfontein.
3 of them. Yeah.
3 of them who are in Bloemfontein. I'm 100% sure that 30 years from now, if I'm still alive, God willing, I don't know, they will be living a completely different life than the life that we're living today. I have hope for this country. We don't have any other country. We have to make this country work. We have to fix what we think is not right. And it's only in our hands that we can be able to do that. Lastly, I don't live in negativity. Negativity doesn't reside here. That's one of the reasons that I'm able to wake up in the morning, even if I see that the news are telling me a story about this and that, I say, you know what, I hear you, but I've got a job to do. And my job is to make sure that we move towards a better South Africa.
Thank you very much for joining us, and for your wonderful family for allowing us to have an introspective moment about the woman of the liberation, exactly what the price was for this freedom.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity.
Pleasure.